Okay, welcome back to the next part of our story of Waterloo. My name is Simon, and this is the Flight Pass channel. This channel is all about using Microsoft Flight Simulator to have a look at moments of history. We've looked previously at D-Day, so you can go onto YouTube and see those flights. And tend to try to keep to the Huey. Quite enjoy flying it. I'm on the PS5 with the what's it called, controller, the gyroscope, and this allows us to get a good look at the terrain. And so we're trying to look basically at how topography and distances affect history. And I'll try and if it gets a bit dry, do stop me, ask any questions if you want, help me out with where the hell I am, all those sort of things. And if you enjoy this sort of stuff, we're going to be flying around a bit casual like. I don't edit these videos, can't be bothered with all that, so I will make mistakes. I will try to keep them to a minimum. Looks like we have a I'm not sure what they're doing with some of these icons. The last update was pretty bad. If you want to join me, by the way, I'm on the European West. So you can join and fly along with me. We're heading up from Lyon to Auxerre, flying over the central France. And we're discussing Waterloo. Now, Waterloo, I mean, people talk about what they want on these sort of things. I find sort of the military history side of thing really interesting. I'm not a academic, but I am a keen amateur historian. And I thought what I would do is show you some of the books, things I read, and just show you the sort of basically what I do here is I kind of read into sort of stuff and try and find out what it looks like on the ground. First things first was a book I thought I'd show you is this one, which is called The War Game. And the reason why I wanted to show this is by Brigadier Peter Young, DSC MC. Sorry, that's the forward by Charles Grant. Sorry, is the guy. And this is a very influential book for me because it's all about wargaming. And for all the young people out there, this was basically alleged soldiers on a table. And at my school, we had a wargaming club. You can see the little soldiers there. And we basically did. You would make your own battalion of lead soldiers, and you'd paint them up. And you would then go down into this bunker in the school. And they had a big table there, and a lot of sweaty, smelly boys basically would war game. But that reason why that I'm telling you that is because that's where my interest in Napoleonic history began. We basically would make I can't believe I'm going to say this, but it was basically lead soldiers. We'd make lead soldiers, so it explains quite a lot what was going on in the 80s. And I remember making the Highlanders, the 42nd Highlanders, painting them all up. So that was where the interest in Waterloo comes from. And then it's been one of those things where I think the nature of the Napoleonic era in warfare was, I think it was probably the last significant war where the leader would be on the battlefield with their troops. So within sight of the other leader. It was, Wellington could see Napoleon across the field at Waterloo. And it also has that element of, I suppose it's rock, paper, scissors, with the artillery and the infantry and the cavalry. That each one had its role, and if you could use them together, meant that you had a significant advantage. So a lot of what we will discuss when we get to Waterloo, especially with Ney's involvement at Waterloo, is that he lacked, for some reason, the control in order to bring upon the enemy elements of cavalry and infantry. He operated them in separately, and so they were never as strong. You needed to blast your enemy with your cannon, bring up the infantry, and then you can use the cavalry to get in amongst them. But and so it was all that sort of coordination is quite important. So when we're talking about Waterloo, if anybody's interested, there's a really good book. I think I've read quite a lot of stuff on it, but one of the best ones I find is this one. It's called The Battle. It's by Alexandra Barbero, and it's as a entry into the story. It's really very well written, excellent read, easy to read, not dry, proper page turner of a book. That one there, I think it's still in print, but definitely a recommended text. And just to show you, I'll just pause here. This is a subject that I'm so interested in that I have been making. The reason why I do this sort of stuff is because I was supposed to be writing a book on this subject, and I just couldn't be bothered to do it. So I thought I'd just write it. So I've got notebooks and notebooks of notes from many sources that were up at the National Library in Aberystwyth. So there's that sort of stuff. Not wanting to, but mainly I do this because I'm lazy. There's other books as well. We've got things like this, Waterloo Recollections, which is an excellent collection of real first-person sources. And this is the other thing about the Napoleonic period as well. It's one of the first battles, wars, where the ordinary soldier is having their words recorded, or recording their words, and you actually get an insight into the sort of into the lowly infantrymen rather than just the sort of upper class ruling classes. So let's, where do we get to? We got to Ney. Coming across to Napoleon. So he's done that bravado thing. I think Ney's, I suppose you could almost think of him a bit like Lord Flashheart from Blackadder. He seems to be all bravado, a little bit bravado. Obviously brave. Not saying he's not brave. He will fight very much on the front line with his troops. But he very quickly sees that the troops at Lons Le Sainier were not reliable, let's put it that way, for the King of France. That Bonapartists were rifle, of course they were just all over the ranks. And Napoleon, I think, knew that Ney was heading to Lyon, and he sent this proclamation to Ney from Lyon, basically saying that he will greet him like he greeted him on the morning after the Battle of Borodino, which was in 8th of September 1812. So he's pulling all the heartstrings at Napoleon with Ney, and so Ney takes the troops over to the Emperor, and that's the sort of faithful decision. And Ney, during his trial later, would say, from the moment of that proclamation, I only longed for death. Many a time have I thought of blowing my brains out. So that's the sort of the background, what's going on in Ney's head at the time. But in that trial as well, he also says, as part of his defense, that the reason why he went over was that he feared a civil war. He felt that if he took those troops from Le Saunier, tried to move them down to arrest Napoleon, it would end in a French civil war. And he says, and I quote, that, "Could I hold back the sea with my hands, I was caught in a whirlwind and lost my head." And spoiler alert, so because he's broken his oath, Ney is executed. But many of the officers who went over with him, they had waited. And what was interesting was that when Louis XVIII realized that the army was basically going against him, dissolved the army. And so that released many of the officers from their oaths to him. But because Ney was the instigator of that, that's what he gets the he knew he would be shot or hung or whatever it is. I can't remember what they do in France, if you basically are treacherous. We're heading to Auxerre. We're about halfway there, and this at Auxerre, this is where Ney will meet up with Napoleon, and he hands him a document. Ney was part of the group that persuaded Napoleon to abdicate in the May 1914, and so he presents him with this sort of document, and it's basically says, if you continue to govern tyrannically, then I am your prisoner rather than your supporter. From now on, the emperor must govern with one object only, and that's the happiness of the French people and the undoing of the evil which his ambition has brought upon the country. So Ney's obviously had a lot of time to think about what he's done. He's trying to make this sort of contract with Napoleon and making it out that he's doing this for the right reasons, and it wouldn't stand up when it gets to the court. He's making up as he goes along. Napoleon just sort of willingly smiles and just brushes it off. Yes, of course, Ney, I'll be a good boy. And he then just carries on with more pressing matters. So when Ney had gone across to Napoleon, the French government had basically run out of options. And so it was now only a matter of time for Napoleon to get to Paris. There was a funny note as well. I think there was the palace. There's a column at the Place Vendôme. And anyway, it has some railings around it in Paris, and someone had posted a note to these railings that said, "From Napoleon to Louis XVIII. My good brother, there is no need to send any more troops. I have enough." So you gotta love the French. It's a lovely part of the world, isn't it? Inspire, this is usually, if you ever watch the Tour de France, this is the sort of helicopter shots you get, don't you? Flying over remote parts of the French countryside. So as I say, we're about to go back towards the channel and the idea of the channel. It's a young channel, so if you do like this sort of stuff, then please like, subscribe, follow, whatever you do, wherever you are. And I'll do these anyway, like I love doing them. And you get to see parts of the world you never would just go to. You would never think about sometimes just grabbing a helicopter here, but when you've got the history part of it, you start putting a bit more sense into it. I will endeavour to keep these things a bit of a light, and I didn't want to just fly around all over the place. I wanted it to be a bit slower. So these things will take a while. We did D-Day. That took about 2 months of flying around, so go and check them out if you want. But I'm working on the way it sounds, the way it looks. So all your support is appreciated. Thank you very much for watching. I am going to take another break here, because this means I can find a place to chop it up. So all these parts will go up onto YouTube, and I will see you in the next parts for you YouTubers.